Well, I think if such a weapons system exists and it's the responsibility of the British government, then they have the absolute responsibility to ensure that they are safely kept, maintained, and no danger. And clearly, they've fallen down on a number of these counts. And of course, we've also seen the rather shameful episode over the last 24 hours where there appears to have been an attempt to cover up this. And of course, we only found out about this missile misfire, because a senior Navy personnel informed the Sunday Times. I mean, clearly he thought it was very serious and should be in the public domain. So I think it's very unedifying seeing the Prime Minister yesterday refusing to answer 4 times whether or not she knew about it. And then today, Michael Fallon, the Defence Secretary, repeatedly refusing to share any information. And then when you take that into account alongside the fact that this information was withheld just weeks before our parliamentary representatives went to a vote on whether to replace Trident, really the whole thing adds up to an anti-democratic shambles.
Isn't that the point of testing, though? It was an unarmed nuclear missile, so it was not a nuclear missile, it was a missile. The point is that you find out in that case if anything is wrong. So you could argue the government has made it safe by testing it.
That is profoundly to be hoped. I mean, clearly the experts and the engineers and so on will have seen what was wrong and put it right. Therefore, I can't understand really why the government does think it has to cover it up, because if it was a routine matter that was rectified, why didn't they just say that?
They say they don't comment on the operational capabilities or otherwise of Britain's nuclear weapons programme, which you can understand, can't you?
Well, I mean, if there was a question of national security and so on, but generally information about tests and notification in advance of tests, that's circulated to heads of state or, their representatives, diplomats and so on. So it seemed odd that on this occasion that information appears not to have been shared. And that's why people think perhaps it is something to do with the timing coming ahead of that parliamentary vote. If it had been a normal test during a normal political period, then perhaps that information would have been shared. But as I say, if the mistake had been rectified, then presumably there would have been no reason for the Prime Minister yesterday to appear to not want to say anything about it. I think it just has created a rather unpleasant atmosphere within Parliament. And of course, the Defence Secretary today, as well as sort of stonewalling questions in Parliament, has said that he won't appear before the Parliamentary Defence Select Committee tomorrow.
On that vote, do you think it would have made a difference? It was a very, very big majority, 472 to 117 that backed the renewal of Trident. And MP after MP standing up today as well to say that they'd have still voted the same way.
No, I mean, that may well be the case. I certainly don't think that the vote would have been reversed. But I think really the question comes down to these are our elected representatives. They had that very crucial decision to make about the future of our security systems, about the controversial nuclear weapons system, and they should have been availed of all relevant information.